What's up, geeks and gamers? It's Jeremy coming to you with another video, and today we are talking about Ray Fisher throwing some major shade at Joss Whedon, male feminist icon himself, Joss Whedon, Mr. TDS himself, Joss Whedon, Anita Sarkeesian's really good friend and ally, Joss Whedon, getting accused of abuse on the set of Justice League. Now, Ray Fisher played Cyborg in Justice League, and just to be clear, just to qualify myself, not a fan of Zack Snyder's DCEU. Anyone that has been watching this channel for any significant amount of time knows this. I do not like these movies. I do not like the interpretation of these characters. I don't like how they were written. I don't like anything about it. But I do like Zack Snyder as a director, and I think he's just a really cool dude, and I respect him a lot. And the people that work with him seem to respect him enormously. But Justice League was a very controversial situation. But I also do question the timing of Ray Fisher and how he's handling this, but it really doesn't matter because Joss Whedon is a piece of shit. Joss Whedon is a terrible person. It's been reported multiple times over and over and over again that he is a horrible person, but he continues to get a pass for some reason in Hollywood. Maybe this time he will finally be exposed for the piece of trash that he is. Now with Justice League, obviously Zack Snyder was kind of gently removed, and they made it seem like it was more an agreement, but it really wasn't. They just wanted to move on from Zack Snyder while he was dealing with a family tragedy, which was a terrible move from that perspective. But Joss Whedon comes in. I'm assuming they thought, hey, this guy did something with the Avengers. He can do something with Justice League. But this is Snyder's vision, and the most polar opposite of Zack Snyder in Hollywood, to me, is Joss Whedon. Now, I personally didn't hate Justice League. As a matter of fact, I liked it because my expectations were so low after Batman v Superman, because I thought that was just an absolute trash fire of a movie, and I hated everything about it. But once we got to Justice League, even though it's a disaster, it's a mess, it's all over the place, ultimately, I found enough that I was okay with because of the tone and because of Superman as a character. Even though they jacked up his face, you know, Superman actually was hopeful, and he actually had some color to his uniform for once, and you know, that made me at least happy. Even though it wasn't a good movie, it was much better than the trash fire known as Batman versus Superman. But that is neither here nor there. I'm just saying that to qualify myself and my stance on this. Now, with Joss Whedon, even his ex-wife has exposed him for the person that he is, this male feminist, this virtue signaler. And Joss Whedon is just another person in Hollywood. They're all like this. They're all like this. But right now, it seems like Joss Whedon, it's kind of like pounce on Joss Whedon time, kick a man while he's down, and I'm okay with that when it comes to Joss Whedon and people like Joss Whedon. He's needed to be exposed for a very long time. If you go back just a few days ago, Ray Fisher actually retweeted a clip of him praising Joss Whedon. I guess this was right around the time of Justice League being in production, or maybe it was during the announcement. I'm not quite sure of the timing on it. And he retracted all of those statements. He says, I want to retract all of this right now. You saw Jason Momoa sitting right next to him. And in that clip specifically, Momoa didn't seem like he was interested at all in giving Joss Whedon any praise. So the question is now with Ray Fisher speaking out against Joss Whedon, and here's what he had to say. Joss Whedon's on-set treatment of the cast, crew, and on Justice League was gross, abusive, unprofessional, and completely unacceptable. He was enabled in so many ways by Jeff Johns and John Berg. Accountability over entertainment. Now, my question is will more of the stars from Justice League speak out against this? I mean, you have your Ben Afflecks, you know, you have your Henry Cavills, your Gal Gadots, your Jason Momoas. I don't really see Affleck doing that. I don't really see Gal Gadot doing that, and I don't see Henry Cavill doing that. But I could see Jason Momoa speaking up. I absolutely could see Jason Momoa speaking up. So it'll be interesting to see if we get more people talking about this. Now, the bigger issue here is this is Hollywood in a nutshell. This is what men in Hollywood are. White males in Hollywood, white male liberals, this is them right here. And I heard Adam Carolla talk about this on the Dave Rubin show probably about 6 months ago, and he said, in Hollywood, if someone doesn't speak out about their politics, you can almost assume that they are a Republican. Because all we do is hear These Hollywood weirdos speaking out, yada, yada, yada. I'm this, I'm that. I'm for this person. I'm anti-Trump, yada, yada, yada. They just will not shut up about it. But then you hear people not say anything. Very prominent people in Hollywood. And that is very interesting, is it not? So you have someone like a Zack Snyder. I don't know Zack Snyder's politics, and I'm okay with that. I don't need to know Zack Snyder's politics. I don't need to know Christopher Nolan's politics. He's my favorite director. I don't care who he votes for or what he thinks. But it is an interesting theory how Adam Carolla said that. But you have people like Joss Whedon, who seems to be the standard in Hollywood of, let me get on Twitter, let me scream to the high heavens about my politics, and let me prove that I am a piece of garbage and a hypocrite all day long. So with Ray Fisher calling out Joss Whedon, could this be the beginning trend of a lot of actors calling out directors for their manipulative behavior and how unprofessional they are? Is one thing you'll never hear about Zack Snyder, and you could not like his movies, like I don't like his DCEU, but one thing you will never hear from Zack Snyder or people that work from Zack Snyder is that he's not a good director to work with, because the people that work with Zack Snyder love Zack Snyder. They appreciate him as a human being because he clearly treats people with respect. That is something across the board that we have always heard good feedback on him. You see how the people that worked on Batman v Superman and Man of Steel, if you see that cast, they love Zack Snyder. They really appreciate Zack Snyder. Interesting how Zack Snyder is someone that doesn't speak out about his politics, and yet here he is as someone that is respected by his cast and crew, is treating him like treating them like normal human beings. Whereas you have Joss Whedon, who is constantly barraging people on social media about his politics and how if you don't think like him, you're the worst person ever, yada, yada, yada. And then now we see that he is treating his cast and crew like garbage. Very unprofessional, very abusive. It seems to be that there is some type of connection with people that think that their politics are so important, they need to speak to you all day, every day about it, versus people that are just like, yeah, I don't really need to talk about my politics. I just want to do my job. I want to go to set. I want to work with my crew. I want to be an asset to this entire production. And that's what someone like Zack Snyder does. Whereas Joss Whedon, no, he has to scream to the high heavens about it. And then he has to reportedly go on set and treat people like trash. This is the Joss Whedon Hollywood template. This is why they don't like Zack Snyder. Like, Hollywood does not like Zack Snyder. If Zack Snyder was screaming about his politics every single day, they would embrace him. They would protect him. And they have protected Joss Whedon because Joss Whedon lines up with that entire ideology in Hollywood. It is groupthink. It absolutely is. And Zack Snyder has gotten back on his feet with the DCEU because of the fans. It's not because of Hollywood, because they don't like Zack Snyder. It's because of the fans. So even if I don't like these movies, even if I'm not looking forward to the Snyder Cut, I am really happy with this project and how it's all played out. And now with Ray Fisher calling out Joss Whedon for abuse on set, this could be the tip of the iceberg. Time will tell. Other than that, guys, go over to geeksandgamers.com, make yourself an account, sign up, jump into the forums, and have some discussions with us. With your account, you will also have your own personal blog, and if you're interested, please consider supporting us for $10 a month with our premium membership, and that gets you access to exclusive content and an exclusive forum for premium members. You guys have a great day. Thank you very much for checking out this video. Solo lost money. Raylos are weird. Fuck Joss Whedon. And we will talk to you later.